Hey guys, it's Sasha with Rice and Raw, and I want to talk to you about building your brand. And in college, I learned to build my own brand in the business world. And this also applies to everyday life. And I'm just going to describe this in business terms. It's not really supposed to sound so corporate, but when you're building your own brand, you really want to market your best assets, market your favorite qualities about you. Emanate everything that you actually like about yourself, and people will start to take notice. People will start to gravitate to you. And I mean, there's a huge difference when say I was sitting here and I have my arms crossed and my head's down, and I'm unsure what I have to say, and I'm quiet, and that there's a whole different aura as opposed to just being out there and having good posture, holding my head high, and believing in what I have to say and my message. And I feel like that's a huge step on building confidence. And what helped me a lot was when walking to class or walking anywhere, I would try to remember to keep my head up and not always look down, and to keep my shoulders back and just walk forward. I'm allowed to take up space. As women, I feel like we're really taught to be as small as possible, take up as little space as possible. And I mean, and then you're being told off for walking with your chest out, you're being sexualized about it. It's really confidence. If you see a man walking with his chest out, you think, oh wow, he's so confident. I mean, it could also come off cocky if you're doing it too much. But I mean, I'm talking about a genuine confidence and a genuine love for yourself that really attracts people, and not just sexually. I mean, I'm talking about girls and boys and people of different ages. They just start to want to be around you. And I have two friends that I want to talk about. One I actually just saw the other day, Jen, and I went to her place with my boyfriend, and my boyfriend's very, introverted as well. He's quite quiet. You're lucky if you heard him talk. No, I'm kidding. It's not that bad. But Jen is just this burst of energy. She does not apologize for who she is. She will make any story so interesting. And yeah, she's Italian, so she has her hands going. I just absolutely admire how everything she has to say is so important because it's so interesting. And even if it's a story about her turtle, I was hanging on her every word, It's just amazing. And I talked to my boyfriend after. I'm like, isn't Jen just great? And Joe was like, yeah, I was so interested in listening to her. And I'm like, yeah, right. And she just fills up every awkward silence with something. And that's just absolutely amazing. And then there's Steph, which actually, I know they've butted heads before. So, but Steph, I don't really get to hang out with her often. But when I do, she always just amazes me. I'm just wow, she's just this amazing energy, and she fills up every awkward silence with something important. She makes up words. She says things I've never heard, and she doesn't apologize for being herself. She's just one of those people where it's just I'm here, this is me, like it or leave it, and I just think that's so awesome, to be like that. And I just want to listen to her. And I'm a really quiet person. I'm pretty shy, and I'm sure a lot of my followers are similar, where they're kind of introverted. And just because you're introverted does not mean you have to be insecure or you have to lack confidence. You can still be quiet, but have a really great presence about you, a good confidence, where you're listening, you're engaged to the story, and you can respond, to questions, and you're still there, instead of being so quiet and nervous and no one's going to want to hear what I have to say, so why would I even bother, even thinking about it? I'll just listen to what people have to say, and that's it. There's that. Or there's you're just listening and you're engaged and you're not afraid to show people that you have a passion too. And I feel that is really what separates people on YouTube, and it's also what separates people in life from being really, really interesting and really, really confident to lacking the confidence. And that is not being afraid to just show your passion and show that you care about something, because I feel like it's become like so uncool to show that you really care about something. You're supposed to give no fucks, and you're supposed to just be like, oh, whatever, I don't care. But it's really cool to be around someone who really cares about something and isn't afraid to give a shit, really. So I just want to say that. Just some very inspirational girls that I've seen. And also, your actions and how you carry yourself around people that you don't know and around people that say potentially can't do anything for you. That says a lot about who you are. If you help someone out who, who's not going to like help you back out, who you're just helping out of the goodness of your heart, that's really kind of what makes someone so special. My boyfriend and I are always so amazed at people who just like make conversation, like when they're out around strangers. And like the other day at the Forever 21 counter, this woman was like, you were like really good with short hair. And it just made my day. Like, she didn't have to say anything. She could have just been a grumpy worker, like, here's your change, like whatever. But she was nice, and that made me feel so good. I told my mom about it, and you have the power to make someone else's day. Like, you have the power to make someone else's week or year. But you also have the power to say something that could really mess with someone's mind. And I still hold on to things in my past that people have said that have just like played in my mind over and over again and kind of has molded me. Not that intensely, but I've kind of always kept this idea with me, which has molded my actions. Like, I remember back in like middle school, this guy said to me once, he's like, well, I don't know, you don't really have a personality. I don't really like you. And that stuck with me for so long. Like, I still think about it to this day that he said that. And that kind of had me starting to go on a track where, well, I don't have a personality. I'm not very special. I mean, all I am is my body. All I am are my looks. Like, I don't really have anything else to offer. And that actually started becoming my thoughts, and I can definitely see how that reflected in my life. So if you are holding on to those types of little comments, I'm sure he doesn't even remember that he said it. I'm sure if I asked him about it, he'd be like, what? Like, what the hell? I would never say that. So you got to let those go, because they're not serving you. They're only making you miserable. And if you say those types of comments to people, please stop, because you can really be damaging like their whole psyche. I know like some people, I've seen it, like make fun of like fat people like out, and I know that they hear it, and I'm sorry. Like, I know that they hear this, and it makes me feel so bad. Like, I just remember like these types of situations before, and I was too shy to like say anything. Now it would be a whole different story, but I've seen it, and you know what? I was a chubby girl too, and if I heard that, that would have stuck with me to like no end. So you have the power to make someone's day or to ruin someone's day. You have the power to build up people, and then you have the power to tear them down. And I'm not saying like you're all powerful, you can do what you want with people, because I mean, these people also have, their own feelings, and maybe that person is actually really confident, and you said something really mean to them, and they're just like, okay. And so, there are people like that who have tougher skins, but do remember to try to be as respectful as you can, because you never know what can really damage someone. You never know that like little comment could really change someone's whole life. Also, if you're someone who's heard some really negative things put towards you, start to realize people who say negative things, they're not happy people. You don't see a happy person walking down the road loving their life and being like, that person's fat, you suck. Like, no one does that is really happy. It's really the unhappy people that are like, just projecting this negativity outwards. So do remember that when you do maybe hear something bad about yourself. Like, for example, I had an ex-boyfriend who, it's gonna sound crazy, he literally convinced me that there was like a demon inside of me, and that I was purely evil because of this demon. And I don't know, it's really weird, right? Like, and he would always say like all this negative stuff about me, how I'm this crazy, crazy person, and that, you know, I'm evil. And what I started to realize after the relationship ended and everything, is that he has a lot of demons himself that he's battling. That, I mean, he really had some personal issues that I just didn't even realize. Like, I just thought it was me. I was the wrong one. And I mean, looking back, I'm not saying I was wrong or right, or he was wrong or right, but he did have some serious issues that he was dealing with. And he was projecting them onto me, making me feel like I was a demon. Sounds crazy now. So just remember that if you ever hear anything negative, this person just honestly is not a happy person, and this is how they're dealing with it, which is not healthy. And if you're the person who is being mean and saying mean things, or even like thinking mean things, if you think something mean about someone, you got to be like, whoa, why am I so angry at this one person? Like, what is it that I'm not okay with? Because it's usually you have some issues yourself. So remember, in building your own brand, is that you have to like kind of develop yourself into the person you want to be, the person that you're proud of. And it's not just looks. It really isn't. It's really about the personality and inner demons and inner issues that need to be resolved. Because once you are okay with yourself, once you start to actually love yourself, you don't care how much you weigh. Like, yeah, for health, that would be great, you know, to be fit. You got to get to a point, and I'm still trying to get there. I want to get to a point where even if I all of a sudden gain 50 pounds, I'm still going to love myself. I'm still going to be the exact person that I am. Like, that's what I want to achieve for myself, just to love myself unconditionally so much. And that's what I hope that people are also on the road towards, because that's the most beautiful thing. And then when you love yourself, people are going to love you. People are going to be comfortable around you because you're comfortable around yourself. I mean, your packaging may not be as pretty and as perfect and as pristine as the packaging on the next person. You know, I'm still talking in the product terms, but that doesn't mean that the product that you're offering isn't of value. You know what I'm trying to say here? So focus on what the actual product is, and that is your personality, and that is who you are, like internally, who you truly are, to your roots. Work on that. And you know what? It might be a different packaging from someone else's, but it doesn't make your product any less valuable than theirs. So I hope that resonated with some of you guys, and I hope that you go out there and you feel more confident to make someone else happy today. Like, say you're going to the grocery store, just smile, be personal, be happy. Even if you're shy, put yourself out there a little bit. Like, people are going to respond to like your joy and your happiness. And people won't be able to help but love you. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Bye.